Okay, so starting off, I'm gonna name the ingredients that you're gonna need. You're gonna need some of these, some corn leaves, dried corn leaves. You can get these at any Hispanic store. Sometimes they have them at oh, I got these at Cup Foods. So just check out your local grocery store to see if they have these. You're gonna need some masa, which is it's different from flour. Don't use flour. This is masa. It's like flour made from corn, not from wheat. I also got this at my local grocery store. You're gonna need manteca or lard. You're only gonna use a little bit, but this helps give it flavor. So this is not optional. This is a must. Okay. And then you're gonna need an onion, oregano, chili powder, garlic powder, some oil of your choice, some salt, some baking powder, chiles de árbol, and some chile guajillo. Or if you can't find chile guajillo, you can use chile Nueva California or Nuevo Mexico. Okay, and of course you're gonna need the meat that you're gonna want to use. I'm gonna use chicken, so I'm gonna use 1 pound of chicken. These are the corn leaves. I left them soaking overnight. You want to leave them soaking the night before. So if you can't do it the night before, you should do it a few hours before you start cooking, so it gets them nice and soft. Okay, so over here I have my chicken cooking. I added the oregano, the salt, some garlic powder, and then the chicken and water. And I'm going to leave that boiling for about an hour. If you're going to be using a different kind of meat like pork or beef, I suggest you leave it cooking for 3 hours, so that way it'll get more tender. But chicken is more easier to get tender, so I'm just going to let it boil and let it cook for about an hour. Okay, now so with your chile guajillo, you are going to take off the stem and then take out the little veins and pour out the seeds in there, and then you're gonna put them in a medium little bowl and fill it up with water, and with warm water, and let them soak in there for about an hour or so. Alright, so it should look like this, and just leave them in there soaking, like I said, for about an hour. Okay, so now you're gonna wanna cut a part of the lard, and you're gonna wanna boil it so it melts. It depends how much tamales you're gonna make. I'm probably not gonna use all of this, but I'm gonna make a very small batch, about 30 tamales or less. So yeah, you're gonna wanna do that, and just boil it until it's completely melted. You're gonna use this later for your masa or for your tamale mix. So now you're gonna prepare the tamale mix, the masa. Again, depending on how much tamales you're gonna make, I'm gonna make a very small batch. So I added like not even half of this bag. It was like a third of the bag. And you're gonna add this is very important. You're gonna add 2 spoons of the baking powder. So just take, it doesn't have to be exact. You can add more later too if you feel like it needs more fluffiness to it. You're gonna add water. You're gonna add some chili powder for color. And again, right now I'm just showing you guys just to give you guys an idea. I'm probably going to add a little bit more of each later on as I'm mixing the masa. You're going to need some salt, a little bit of garlic powder, and now it's alright, so my lard is all the way melted now, so I'm going to add this to my masa mix too. Alright, so I'm not going to add all of this, I'm going to add just half of it. And then I'll taste it after I mix it to see if it needs any more. Also, I forgot to add that if you don't want to use water, to mix your masa with. You can also use chicken broth from the chicken that you boiled, or you can use another kind of broth. Okay, so my masa is all mixed and ready. Should kind of have a goopy texture to it, not too soft, but and you know, like firm enough so it's like hard when you mix it. And if you want, you can grab a little piece and taste it to see if it has enough salt and enough flavor in it. Okay, now you're also gonna want to add your salt. Of course, as always, garlic powder and water, just enough to make the salsa very watery. You're also gonna want to add a chunk of onion in here. You can add some oregano if you want, but I'm not going to. And then you're just gonna blend it, and I'll let you know what you do then. Alright, so as you can see, I have everything I need for the salsa mix in the blender. And now you're gonna blend it, and you're gonna want to blend it for a while. So let's do that. The salsa should look like. I left it blending for quite a while, about 5 minutes or more on high power, and it should be very it should be like this. It shouldn't be chunky at all. It should just be very watery, and if you want, you can taste it to taste the spiciness. It's gonna taste a little bitter right now, but trust me, once you cook the tamales, the sauce will have a very nice flavor to it. Alright, now be sure to have your chicken shredded. And now we're going to begin making the actual tamales. So what we're going to be doing, you're going to want the corn leaf, and always make sure that you rub the ingredients on the softer side of the leaf. There's a side that has more ridges on it, that's more rough, and then there's a side that's a little more smoother and not so bumpy. So remember to always use the side that's smoother, because it's going to be much easier to rub on the masa and everything else. So let's get started. See, I spread a thin layer of masa on my corn leaf. You can make it thin or thicker depending on how much masa you're going to want on there. And then you're going to want to grab some chicken. Put it in the middle part, and then, hold on, let me get a spoon. You're going to want to put some salsa on the chicken. Not a lot, you don't want it to be too wet, just some on there. And now I'm going to show you how to fold it. So this is how you're going to fold it. Put one over. You put the other one over, and you go like that, and it should make a nice little square. You can make them, the sizes are going to depend on how big the leaves are, so that's basically how you fold one. Alright, now as you see, I got my small batch of tamales stacked up now, and now I'm gonna leave it covered. Since it's a small batch, it's probably only gonna take 1 to 2 hours for them to fully cook. I'm leaving them on medium to high heat, and we'll come check on them in 1 to 2 hours.